With rain falling somewhere in the UK on more than 150 days a year on average, a high quality waterproof is one part of your cycling wardrobe that is going to see plenty of use. The best waterproof cycling jackets use a whole host of modern fabrics and technologies, and there are now a huge amount of rain-ready options on the market, covering all sorts of styles and budgets. Remember, there's no such thing as bad weather, only bad clothing. Although sometimes I would disagree. If you're on a budget or want a lightweight packable jacket that can be dragged out of a rear pocket in a rain emergency, then Galibier's Tourmalet needs to be on your list. When we reviewed it, we did mention that we would like some brighter colour options for really overcast days, but other than that, there was very little that we could fault. The Tourmalet uses Hydrostop 2.3 membrane, which provides a waterproof rating of 15K, which is bolstered by a fully taped design and stormproof zip. This is no boil in the bag either, with a rating of 13.5K for breathability, which seems to keep your core at a comfortable temperature unless you are riding very, very hard. Other neat details are a heavily dropped tail to suit an aggressive road riding position, snug fitting cuffs, a rear vent for, venting, and a high collar to keep out the worst of the weather. The fact that you can get all of this for just 68 quid makes the Tourmalet one of the best bargains versus performance waterproof jackets on the market. What works on the chain gang or your weekend blast on the road bike might not be fit the daily commute to work, especially if your pace is a little less frantic and the drop from your saddle to handlebar is a little less dramatic. This is where the city jacket from Chapeau steps in. With a relaxed cut that looks just as good off the bike as it does on it, it is mostly at home in the urban environment. Being very packable means that it's also a good contender for the bike packers or tourers among us. Our reviewer found that the Chapeau delivered impressive waterproofing thanks to the material and the addition of fully taped seams throughout, and the breathability was fine for the steady state riding typical of an urban commute. Push the pace a bit and things can get a little overwhelming, but that's forgivable as this isn't a jacket designed for riding flat out. The sizing allows you to wear it over standard civvy clothing should you so wish, and with a bright colour and a few reflectives thrown in, you shouldn't just blend into the background. Gore's Shakedry fabric has become a bit of a game changer in the lightweight waterproof market, and while many brands have incorporated it into their own lineup of jacket, the Race Shakedry jacket is Gore's own offering. Unlike most waterproofs that use an outer layer bonded to a membrane for durability, the Gore does away with that. What you see here is just the membrane fabric, and it means that this is very lightweight at 174 grams, and it's very packable, and that is a racer's dream. The waterproofing is immense, and with no need for any kind of water repellent coating like that found on a typical outer layer, the Shakedry's performance doesn't degrade over time. Should it get wet during a shower, a quick shake after taking it off means that it is dry to stow away in your rear pocket. There are a couple of downsides, with the biggest being that the membrane comes in, well, bin liner colour, and that can't be changed. If you want something bright, you'll need to look elsewhere. It's also not quite as durable as a multi-layer jacket, but it is tougher than it looks, and for road riding there are few issues. I've had one for years and it's absolutely fine. Now all you have to do is decide which one of your internal organs you can live without and bung it on eBay so that you can treat yourself to one of these. Rapha's classic winter Gore-Tex jacket is available both in men's and women's cuts with very subtle differences, but they both use a 3-layer Gore-Tex fabric from Gore's Infinium range, which we found to keep out absolutely everything that the elements could throw at it. A dropped tail keeps you covered in an aero position while the front is cut higher to avoid causing any damage to your bib shorts or bib tights. Unlike a lot of waterproof jackets, you do get a decent selection of pockets, and there are a couple of options including the very bright orange colour that we've had in for testing. Whichever colour you go for though, there are reflective details added for riding in the dark. Let's face it, if you're riding in the rain, it's likely to be dull and grey. So if you want to be seen, you'll want something bright, like the Altura Nightvision Storm Waterproof Jacket. God, that's a name. Other colours are available if you want something a little more subdued though. For our reviewer, George, the jacket was impressive, with the Altura shunning wet weather and blocking the wind. Breathability was decent too for all but the most spirited of rides. Altura's night vision rain has always been about visibility in the dark, and this jacket doesn't let you down. The side panels, the outside of the arms and the collar are all covered in an array of reflective dots, which give a distinct definition of someone human-shaped riding a bike. The reflectivity of the arms also helps with making your signals for turning more noticeable. There's a woman's version of this jacket too, which we've also reviewed and loved. It's not easy for a product to achieve a review score of 10 out of 10, but tester Mike deemed the Showers Pass Elite 2.1 jacket was worthy due to it being the ultimate winter jacket for riding in appalling conditions. It's made from elite 3-layer ripstop fabrics, with the jacket having been body mapped to maximize waterproof and windproof protection with high levels of breathability. A multitude of venting options also keep you cool when you put in a big effort or when outside temperatures start to rise. The Elite also comes with plenty of reflective detailing to help you get seen at night, and there are brighter colour options available than the ones that we had in for testing. There is also a hood available as an optional extra, which we believe adds to the versatility of the jacket. When it comes to fit, the Showers Pass has a roadie style to it, being slim cut to reduce excess fabric flapping around, although we still found it to offer plenty of room for a couple of layers beneath. It's not cheap, but thanks to great durability and a 2-year warranty, the Elite is a long-term investment. Which jacket would best suit your needs? Let us know down in the comments below. Remember to like this video before you go, subscribe for more, and we'll see you in the next one.